evening, good night. Welcome to the show, what a wonderful delight. Yeah, Potsi and T-Rods better chop up on the mic. Just sit back, have a laugh, catch a vibe, and enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Oh, you're bandwagoning now that they're not good. Pretty cool.
No. I feel like the only person I can really support is somebody from my era. I got in like the tail end.
What do you mean era? Oh, Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis.
I mean, he's what, 37?
He's still racing, but like I feel like if I become a Max Verstappen fan, that is bandwagoning. So
well, I get the US support. I also get that too.
You get the what?
Like, oh, no, wait, I'm tripping. Lewis is even from the United States.
No, not even a little bit. The only American we have on the grid this year is Logan Sargent, who's
Logie. Logio. He's been at the back.
It hurts. Yeah, I mean, he's with Williams. It's a learning experience, his first year. But because, you know, I keep up with F1, we might have a reason to cheer. I know Haas is American, but with Nico Hülkenberg and who else? Whoever the hell they have, Rosenberg, not Rosenberg, but the other guy, horrible. But GM Motorsports is trying to get a Formula One team, so that would bring some sense of like an American team to the grid. So that might be exciting. So,
well, yeah, I mean, we just started talking there, but welcome to the show.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and yeah, they already know. They know the show. No, but
I know. I'm just joking with you. It's just that we were just randomly talking, and I was just throwing you some shit because you have your Mercedes shirt on that you probably just ordered.
Oh yeah, I forgot they can't see all the time.
Yeah,
I didn't even order. I got this at Formula One. This is team gear.
Oh, that's
let's not sell it short. I bought 2 shirts for $250. Okay, this is team merch.
This is team merch. All right,
the material is great. So I can.
Speaking about teams, though, we got you to play fantasy football this year. It's your first time ever in your life.
I know. I never played. I never watched football before this year. Like I never watched more than the Super Bowl or maybe 3 or 4 downs of a playoff game. But now I watch every single game, Monday, Thursday, fucking Sunday, Saturdays when they have them, Fridays when they have. But like I'm all over it.
So I mean, it started like I invited you to one of our friends' league, and you're like, "Yep." And then we joined in another friends' league. So we have like 2 friend groups. We have 2 different leagues, and then it was like Terrence was just 24/7, making the most trades, most waivers, most pickups, all the time, 24/7.
I had to because how many people were in the day one league?
There's like 12.
There's like 12. So that's about double. That's double the amount of people in our PDX group. Like that friend group is super small, and there's like 2 guys that don't play. So it's really like 5 of us in that group. So there's a lot of room for improvement. You can grab a ton of players because there's a lot of people that are not making moves. But in that other group, bro, there's 12 guys. There's not a lot of good players to go around. Like points are hard to come by, so you had to make a lot of moves. I made like 60-something moves. The next highest was maybe somebody else had like 10. So like I was constantly, my OCD was on complete overload with this the strategy.
But you genuinely enjoyed watching football this year, though.
I love it. I watched more football this year than I have in the last 15 years of my life, and I haven't watched any NBA. Essentially, besides the couple of Magic games I've been to.
Yeah.
Because I've just been obsessed with football.
And I mean, so in our one league, I did beat you this week in the playoffs, so you're out and I'm advancing. But in the other league, you are
wait. I would like to talk about that game too, because I very well, if I put the right pieces in, I could have won that game. Easy.
Yeah, so Terrence made some mistakes. He didn't play Jared Goff. Over Sam Howell, which, I mean, viewers, if you're listening, you guys can make this decision on that one. And then the other big one that you made was you didn't play Raheem Mostert over Ezekiel Elliott.
So look, let me give you some context.
Let's hear it.
So Jared Goff, he's been playing up and down the last few weeks. Not great, not bad, right? It's very solid. But Sam Howell has been slinging it for the last 6-7 weeks. Like I'm saying, like putting up 30, sometimes 40 points. So he had a easier matchup this week. So I was like, might be a steal if I play it right, and it might be what I need to cause the upset. and then that backfired horribly. I had Sam Laporta on my other team, and he did great. So I knew Jared had a big game. And then going in my other league, I mean, I feel like I'm dominating.
You're first in our other league, but
I did lose this week though.
But I might win. It'll depend on what DK does tonight. But in our matchup, the other thing is me and Terrence have played multiple games versus each other, and we've been making friendly wagers throughout the season. And I approached Terrence before this playoff game, and he shut down the bet because he was scared.
Bro, well, give us some context. My team sucks compared to my team. Your team is much better than mine, bro. Who do you have? Do you have Josh Allen?
I do.
Okay, he didn't play great, but who else did you have?
I mean, I had my team. I mean,
the two best players.
Kyron Williams. Williams is really well.
Let me just pull this shit up right here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent matchup.
It wasn't a decent matchup, bro. You were projected to score 118, and I was projected to score barely 100. I scored 80 points, and it was 134. Like it was what you have. Josh Allen. Deebo Samuel,
Garrett Wilson. Oh, Jordan Addison's really.
And then Jordan Addison had a great game, so that's it right there. And then your defense is solid. So.
It kind of wants me to lead into this next point. So fantasy obviously has been around forever. It's massive, and you see all these stories about players that get hit up about fantasy or betting. Do you have any stories, or did you get a lot of those where people are like, you screwed my fantasy or you screwed up my parlay, like because the same game parlays, they can say Terrence Ross scores 12 points or over under things like that. Have you ever had those type of moments where people? I mean,
honestly, I've had people in the past, but you know how it is. Like people don't usually play fantasy basketball as much as they play fantasy football. So like, it wasn't. I had it a couple of times, but nothing crazy.
Like even bets though, I imagine no one picked you up.
I mean, towards the end of my career, just because it became illegal, and I didn't have to worry about it. Super early in my career, but yeah, definitely once gambling became
like big. Well, because now you're like with the bets that I see, like you can bet like individual, like it's like exactly like Terrence Ross 10 points, or he's gonna get 12 total points, and it's rebounds, assists, and points. Like, is he gonna get more?
Are you talking about like Prize Picks?
Yeah, like like that. There's a bunch of those ones, like FanDuels, all those where they can choose like individual players how they successfully do, and then you see stories of like players that are getting hit up because they're like, "Oh, I bet 10,000 on you to score 10 points."
Well, you got to do that at your own fucking discretion. Like, what the hell? Like, nobody told you to put all your faith and finances on this next shot. Like, that's But hey, bro, I feel like in the last 4 or 5 years, gambling has had an uptick. Like I'd never seen people gamble in my life. Like I have like
all our buddies, bro.
Like my wife's friends, the wives are gambling now. They're like, oh, I gotta get home. I gotta watch this game and put my Prize Picks in. I'm just like, wait, did I hear that right? Like it's everywhere now. I'm the only person that doesn't gamble. Like for an athlete, it's kind of been taboo. So I don't really even understand gambling all the way. So I just always stay away from it.
But it's crazy because like they like obviously like Oregon, where we went to high school, they introduced gambling to the state like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah. And just the revenue in that, that they're able to build from it, like with taxes and stuff, is like, it's insane. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. But then the question comes into, because we have casinos here, and it's like, you can sports bet, but you can't sports bet like local college because they don't want the influence happening, which like what's your thought on that? Like, so I think it's kind of ridiculous. Like if now with NIL especially, like kids are getting money, I feel like there's less kids, like less players that would be willing to like rig a game for like some amount of money. I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely happened. For sure. Definitely been like cases, sure. But it's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, that wasn't really something I was
exactly
by growing up. It doesn't feel like it was really even that prevalent.
Like, imagine like you're at your UW, I'm at Idaho, like you have like a Tuesday night game and someone comes to you, it's like, hey, I'll give you 10 grand if you can, whatever, keep the spread within this amount.
But you know how it is. Basketball's a lot harder, bro, because you need the only person
to be the point guard.
Control that is point guard. Yeah, like, and that's from that fucking
Arizona State documentary.
Yeah, so I was like that makes sense, but I don't know, bro.
That's what I was telling somebody. It's like it's hard to like I mean, I was a star player of a college. I had the ball a lot, but it would still have been hard for me to control the game.
Oh, easily.
Even if we were like winning and I had to like bring it back, like it'd just be hard. Like like it'd be like extremely hard.
I'm not even sure how that guy at Arizona State was doing. He
was like so talented though. It was like, dude, you're like that good. You can like score 40 then stop, and like it's crazy. Like,
and just like the random turnover. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just too much. It's like it's too much, too stressful.
Well, and then I feel like with the NIL now, it's like if some of these kids at these bigger schools are getting enough money, like $10,000 to blow a game is like not worth it. I feel like. Do
you think they're going to regulate that at some point? What do you think they're going to do at college football? They have to do something because the conference system doesn't seem to be working. Did you see what Chip Kelly was saying about it? And how he was.
Yeah. What kind of brief me on what he was saying?
So he was just pretty much saying that football in total should be its own thing. It should be separate from the rest of the sports in the universities, right? And then you could divvy that up in East, West, whatever. So then you have the best East Coast teams playing the East Coast teams, and then they throughout. He said maybe week 6 throughout, then they go out to the West Coast, play those teams, and then you have more of a structured, and then you have a tournament system at the end. Well, it's kind of like, isn't that what?
I mean, you make it what the NFL is. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You have your divisions. You have your AFC East, your AFC West. You know what I'm saying. So
wouldn't that be better?
Well, yes, basically, and that becomes basically semi-pro. I mean, you're basically making college football semi-pro, but they're getting paid.
What is the SEC?
It's basically semi-pro. You're getting ready to go professional. I mean,
and you're the product,
and you're getting paid a bunch of money.
But that's the thing. I just don't think they want to divvy up that money between that many parties.
Well, that, and then you're gonna have to regulate. Like I heard someone talking about it. Is like the NIL is there's no rules that like you have these guys that are transferring in conference, so there has to be some similarity in conference so that there's some kind of fair playing field, because it's like, oh, you can be at Alabama, but then like the worst team in the SEC, they're not going to be able to give you the same money as Alabama. Or so it's almost like
it starts to create the gap between teams.
Then you do kind of like what the NBA does, salary cap. So you're a rookie, you can make X amount of money, up to X amount of money. You're a freshman. If you're a sophomore, you can make this. If you make first team all league, you can get this.
There's incentives.
So then you start to incentivize it, but then you have a base. So like if I'm a freshman, I can get 150K or whatever. I don't know what it is, and then all the schools can offer up to that, because it's like right now it's they can go just $1 million.
So where's this money coming from? It's coming from the revenue from the boosters and all that. But bro, it's different. Like with the NFL and the NBA, you have TV deals who cover the back end of all these contracts. If you're trying to use the boosters and some of that as the same, that's not going to hold.
Well, no, and that's the thing. It's like with the NFL, you have one owner who's a billionaire, and like then you have these TV deals and all that. See, the problem is that the schools are like the middlemen. Yeah, they have the boosters giving them money, but then they're getting the TV deals. It's not like the boosters are getting the money back. They're the reward for the boosters is that they're getting wins and they're getting national championships. They're getting experiences. They're having fun. So it's weird. Yeah, it's like
so that becomes then all of a sudden that becomes a very narrow and specific group of schools that can only offer that. So where does that leave?
Well, then it's going to be like our boosters going to be like, hey, we want money. Like we're gonna. Is
this going to implode? Is this all going to collapse and fall on itself in 10 years?
Does it turn into semi-pro? It separates from the school, because right now the school is benefiting. They're like those big time schools are making so much money off ticket sales revenue, TV deals. And so that's why the schools don't want. That's why the NCAA is kind of trying to hold it all together, because they know that it's so much money involved. Like if they split from the schools, they're going to lose all of that.
That's not good.
But
I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Think about that. It's like the alma mater, like being an alumni, like there's passionate, and that's why there's so many people that are like, it's like crowdfunding. Like you're able to pool so much money together because you have thousands and thousands of people that are willing to donate a lot of money. So but at some point, it could be a weird situation where you're like, dude,
this is not this isn't going back and forth. This is going one way.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
It is crazy to think about, because it's like
college athletes, if you're out there, get your money while you can.
Keep taking
because this will not hold. This will not hold.
It's going to fall out at some point.
It has to. There's going to be rules and regulations because this is the Wild West right now. And somebody who's getting money just 4 or 5 years ago is losing a lot of money now, and they're going to fight to change that. That's just how the world works.
Well, and the other thing that I think is like a big issue is that think about this. It's like you're paying like the Manning kid at Texas. You give someone like $2 million to come to your school. And I'm not using him as an example because I think he's a good player, but there's a lot of guys that they're giving a bunch of money to that are not going to end up being good as freshmen. And I think people are really going to pull back on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to fall out where it's like, okay, we're going to stop giving kids that haven't done anything $1 million. It's just like NFL. Like NFL used to give players, they had unlimited contract as a rookie and they stopped doing that.
They still do.
No, back before that, like Matt Stafford's first contract was $120 million.
Matt Stafford?
Yeah,
out of college.
Out of college, Ndamukong Suh was like $100 million.
Well, didn't Joey Bosa come out of college and he was like, "All right, well, I'm not coming to training camp if I don't get the contract I want," and then they gave it to him. But it kind of worked because he got defensive rookie of the year. So
yeah, but
I know basketball. I know basketball has a salary cap because like after Isaiah Ryder came into the league, it was like I want 68 off the top. They gave it to him, and he was just never what they thought he was going to be. Then they started being like, "Yep, we're going to start putting caps on things." But I didn't know that. I didn't know what they base it. I just know if you got drafted in the first round, you're making really good money. Like you're making first pick could be making like 60 mil. So I was just like, all right. And like the NBA's getting towards that. Like every year, the number one picks, the salary goes up higher. But like I just knew that football first pick, bro, you're getting life changing money, generational money.
Well, the thing about football too is that they get the signing bonuses,
which are huge,
that are way different than the NBA.
And they get paid through the course of the season and not year round, which seems like a lot of money up front.
Well, like what I mean, I think Joe Burrow was talking about. I think he got like $20 million. His first check was his signing bonus. It's like that's pretty crazy. You walk into the NFL and it's like your first check's $20 million. But yeah, I'm trying to hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Because I remember specifically the NFL contracts, like at a certain point, they didn't have any. There was no like regulation on like
it was all just like
whatever you want, like
at the top.
Yeah, at the top. So it's like if you're a first pick, you can negotiate whatever you wanted, and then the veterans and like just how the league was set up, they're like, nah, we're not going to do that anymore because these guys are getting like $100 million, and
that's not working out.
Yeah. Well, and some of them perform, and then some of them don't. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Speaking of NBA news, what's going on with this Draymond Green suspension?
Oh yeah, I actually wanted to talk to you about this because it's just it's ridiculous, bro. I mean, you saw the play on what was it, Lynn?
Yes. No. It was a Bosnian kid.
Yeah, not Lynn.
No,
I'm just thinking
big Bosnia, big Serbia.
Josip
Nurkic. Yeah. Dude. Yeah. That's what I mean. What do you? And then he like, I don't understand what are you thinking? Are you trying to sell a call? Are you trying to get open? Are you genuinely trying to get him off you? Did you just lose your composure? Because this seems to happen like on a year in, year out basis. Like we can go all the way back to him kicking Steven Adams in the groin. Like it's just nobody reacts in the way he reacts sometimes. I don't know. How long again?
It said indefinitely, didn't it? I'm pretty sure it was.
But I think it came out just right now, like a minimum, like 3 weeks.
Well, do you see it's like, yeah, it says expected to at least miss 3 weeks. And then it said like he's going to go to counseling and things along those lines. But it's like it's been a continued thing. It's like
I feel like all of that is just going to make him angrier when he comes back to basketball. He's going to be pissed next time he steps on the court. Like all this bullshit I have to go through to get back here. Like, all right. Don't nobody say nothing to me. And he's going to go out there. When he comes back, how long do you think it would be until he gets his first technical? Like over or under 5 games
at least. He is
at
just
least 5 games. You think he'll go 5 games without getting one technical?
Well, see, the problem with Draymond is that like it's not like he gets those texts that are crazy, like the one that he had and got ejected. But then there's other times like he just reacts in a way that the refs are just not like taking it. They're just not going to take that.
So here's the thing though. So Draymond, when he's arguing a call or the call's being made and the refs are talking about it, Draymond is there like no, like all up in their ear, pointing, doing whatever, right? So every year we start the season, we have right before like preseason starts off, we have the referees, their little committee, they go around to every single team. Play a video, points of emphasis.
Do they wear a suit? Do they come in with a suit and a briefcase, or what is this? What do these guys look like?
What's the guy's name? Monty I forgot his last name. Monty wears a little bow tie. He does the video every year. It's a black screen. It's just him, and he goes over points of emphasis. They play clips from the last year to highlight what we're looking at, what's changed.
Who's paying attention to this?
Everybody, because it's like It's like the first day of school. It's like, it's like getting your syllabus. Like we're going over everything that we already know. But seeing it every year, they say there's things that you always, no matter what, can't do. Yeah. You can't point at the official. You can't make any gestures towards the official. You can't slam the ball. You have to use a tone that is respectful, which to me, he has crossed out like 3 of them, right? But you can't you have to be composed is the biggest thing, right? And I feel like they give Dre so much leeway as if he's had 3 technicals his entire life. And this is the first time he's ever acting out. Every time he does something, they're just it's almost like they're just like, okay, Dre. It's just like, nah, bro. Because if that was anybody else, you might be tossing him.
You're getting tossed.
His leash is already long. So I can't wait to see what, after 3 weeks, after a month, what's going to happen? What's he going to look like?
Well, okay, so it's a good question, though. How many technical fouls does he have in his career?
He's the second most. It has to be 30 or 31, and the 39 is held by Rasheed Wallace.
No, I'm looking at his stats right now. So we got how many years he's been in the league? Has he been in the league the same amount of years you have?
12. This is his 12th year. Yeah, same draft. He was second round.
How many technical fouls does he have in 12 years?
30.
141.
Technical foul. How many ejections does he have?
He has 18 ejections.
That's ridiculous. I have 1 rejection in my entire career.
How many? Just 1. I could probably name the amount of technical fouls I have in my whole career. I think it's 7 technical fouls in my life, and 4 of them were in one season when I was, playing really hard. But I mean, it's just but come on, bro. That's the biggest thing. Nobody. That's the other thing. People don't really trash talk me, and it's hard to get into my head. You see me, it's hard to get under my skin. I'm not reacting. Yeah, but I'm just gonna play. But does it have to? But your technical fouls are probably more towards the official, right? Or was it towards somebody else?
It could have been. I could have been arguing the official. I could have said something smart, but not. It happened very rarely.
You had a couple altercations. Jokic tried to do you dirty, but you didn't.
The tech wasn't on me though.
That was on you. But there was another one. What was the other one? Was it in Minnesota? No, what was it?
I couldn't tell you because I've had so few of them. Yeah. I've had so few. The one time I've been ejected was in Toronto. And what happened? I don't even know what happened. I thought I got fouled. No, they called a charging foul, and then the next possession, I tried to take a charge or something where I argued the call. Okay. They were at the other end of the court. He told me to throw the ball, or he was asking for the ball. So I was acting like I was about to throw it, and then I just rolled it at him and then walked it, and then he teed me up and threw me out. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not even.
It's so funny because I was correct. It was versus the Timberwolves, but it was in Toronto. And all you got to do, it's funny how the internet works. I just typed in Terrence Ross ejected, goes right to Reddit, and it has the exact statement that you just made. Yeah. Dwayne Casey goes, why'd you tee him up twice? He rolled the ball at me too hard.
What the hell? It's not a bowling ball. You should be fine.
Oh man.
I didn't really get teed up that much, bro. So this is crazy behavior. This is football behavior to me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Draymond. I think he's not as good a player as he thought he was, and I think that he stayed in Golden State because, imagine if he was doing this elsewhere. I feel like it would just be,
it would look way worse.
It would look way worse. And I think the team would not put up with it. They would not put up with it. They would be like, all right, what are you actually providing for us? What are you?
Well, doing? He has championships and a defensive player, a couple All-Stars. So that
you watch him now, he's not the same. He's just
but it's but that brings me to another point too, right? Could this be the end of the Warriors dynasty? Is this? I mean, they were already thinking about like, blowing things up last season, and they didn't. And it's crazy because they had a talent like Jordan Poole, and not to say that, it's all their fault or his fault, but they had a talent like Jordan Poole, decided to part ways with him. They kept this group together for what, 12 years? 12, 13 years?
For a while, yeah.
So, like, I'm starting to think that, like, Steph is clearly the one that's holding it together. Like, besides Steph, his performance has either stayed the same or even, gone a step or two higher. But, like, Klay's been hurt a couple times, so it feels like he's lost a step. Draymond is
not the same.
He's not the same as what he was 6-7 years ago. It's like he's old too. Like it's that's how the game goes.
Well,
so you're gonna
I think Kuminga last night had a big game for them, but it's like you could put Kuminga into that Draymond role as the 4, more athletic, able to do more.
That's tough because Draymond, I will give Dre credit for that. His IQ for the game is elite. I
get that, but I'm saying if you're trying to move forward, because the problem now that the Warriors are running into is that, like, you're right, Klay is not the same. I love Klay. I think he's a great player, but I do think he's not the same. But now you're not, like, trying to trade those guys. You're not going to get the same that you would have got for them like 3 years ago. And
so that's what do you do?
And that's the tough part of being a general manager, is that you have to make those decisions at the right time when, like, 3 years before they're there.
It gets to this. Yeah.
Because it gets to us. But you still think you have that. I mean, they won a title not too long ago versus Celtics. That was like 2 years ago. So it's like, it's so tough, but it's like, they're never going to move off Steph. Steph's always going to be there.
And I don't think they should. I don't think they should, because he's great. Yeah.
But it's like, now you got to try to bring in young talent. I mean, they tried it with Wiseman, all that, but it got sideways.
So who do you think, and, kind of on the other side of the coin here, who do you think is one of the more promising teams on the uprise coming out right now?
I mean, it's hard not to look at your boys down there in Orlando. They're looking good. I mean, if we're talking like in the next like 5, 6, 7, 8 years,
let's even go like 3-4 years, because it's a different landscape right now. Like, we are starting. This is the end of I feel like once the Warriors fall out,
it's open.
It's not even that it's open, but like there's going to be the older guys are gone in the next 2-3 years. They have to be. Like,
but Denver is going to be hard or not for the next couple of years. It's going to be Denver's going to be right there.
That's why I see he's going to be the champ, or at least the favorite.
Sixers is tough because Embiid, but the Celtics, I still feel like the Celtics are really good. Like, I feel like
this is the last chance. This is the last chance too before things start to blow up, because you can already feel the tension between Tatum and Brown. Like, not that there's any problems, but like those guys are two
just alpha males,
like,
bro.
Yeah, they're two franchise type players, and you're going to start to impede on their growth if they don't go away, which sounds weird because when you think about like Harden and Westbrook and KD, like they kind of need each other, but it's weird to see. But at the same time, it's just, we would think that they would have got close, or at least they get into the finals once, and they've been knocking on the door for a few years, but like you just think that they would have somehow done more by now.
Yeah.
Because like they're always the favorite.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, the year they went to the title, I mean, obviously, I think Ime was a big part of that.
Absolutely,
I think he was a huge part of that. And I'm not saying Joe Mazzulla is a bad coach. I just don't know if it's the same. The other team that I think is good is the Thunder. I think the Thunder, like, they're so young and have so many good players. Like, I feel like them and Orlando are going to be good for a while. And it's like teams are trying to get to that point. Like, those are like, I mean, realistically, those are two teams that rebuilt for years.
But
pieces.
I would say that OKC did it the most logical, and they did it the most efficient way. Not only did they find a way to get a lot of picks and unloading a lot of picks, like for unloading superstars, but they made the most out of those picks.
They made the
great picks. Say that for a lot of people. Like, some teams get a lot of picks, like the Magic. We've had a lot of picks. We've had a lot of picks, and it's pretty much my entire tenure with the Magic.
Was good.
And maybe high picks. 3 of those players have turned out to be like really, truly something special. Like J.I. had a chance, but I mean, he's been hurt a lot. Yeah, and then you have Franz was a real eye opener, which is like a blessing from freaking God. And then you get Paulo, who
Paulo's the first pick. I mean, that's the first.
I didn't think they were going to take Paulo, which really, I was like, John.
They did the right pick though.
They got very lucky, but in terms of like what OKC's doing, come on, bro. Shea, they traded for Shea. They got Chet, Jalen, Dort, Giddey. I mean, they got a bunch of guys. Even like Pokusevski didn't really turn out, but he showed.
But they have a bunch of other players that are young and
they still have more picks. So it's like they could be a powerhouse for the next generation. Just leading us into the next generation of what this league could look like.
I'm laughing because I mean you did mention one name that made me laugh, and Josh Giddey. I mean, it's a pretty crazy scenario that is kind of unfolding with him. We'll see. I mean,
I didn't even know. I just thought that this was the only thing that I did hear is that this took place some years ago, and he's 21 now.
But he was supposedly, allegedly, he's like 18, 19, and the girl was a lot. 19. And the girl was a lot younger.
But he met her where though?
I don't know.
They said they met her at a club.
Okay, but there's also a lot of and I think the parents of her are not trying to, but it's still a really crazy situation. It's just funny because he got some tickets. He got some tickets in Newport, and it just brings me back to us being in Newport. Just driving.
Wait, Newport where? Oh,
California.
California.
Yeah, and it's just like, he got some speeding tickets over there trying to get away from.
That's gonna be weird, bro. That's been all kind of hush hush, but I'm sure it's honestly, I really think it's probably nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, if he was 27 years old and 11 years into the league, talking about like, hey, baby, like then I'd be like, we have some tremendous red flags here that we need to address. But I think this could. I mean.
We'll see what happens. I mean, they're trying to investigate it, and I think the parents aren't trying to. He got some high-end lawyer. It's just one of those things that. Well, maybe. Well, you know, one of the things if the parents don't want to deal with it, they could be that she did get into a club illegally.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, it seems like just say what happened, and we can just get to the bottom of all of it. Yeah, but it's. They're making it difficult, then they're making it difficult. So it's not much you can do. But guys, just Jesus Lord, guys. Fucking do some due diligence. Just do your due diligence. Just understand
Hey man, but
why are you asking me about Degrassi or whatever teenagers watch nowadays? Yeah. Like there has to be like you gotta be a little more aware, bro.
We have been into clubs, we've been in the nightlife, and like it is like if you're in a situation like that and you're in a club, you expect everyone to be 21 or older. You expect things to happen, like what I mean. It's like it's just still
I understand because that shit really does happen. Like girls,
it happened. Yes, people underage and they'll lie about it.
You should know, based on what I like in my conversations I have with people, and just. I will know how old you are just by me talking to you based on your responses. That for me, it's like because as a grown man, like I don't want to deal with a child. Like, especially in an intimate way. Like that's.
Well, we both have daughters. We both have daughters. So it's like
daughters, but even like, bro, you know me. I've always been the younger guy, liking older women. So like to me, it's always weird. That older women or older guys have always had a thing for like younger girls. I'm just like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like.
Oh yeah, I mean, and especially like even if you just talk to someone that's younger, you're like, like this just is not like this is like we're not gonna have the same conversation ever.
No, that's how it goes. But god damn it, Josh, I don't know what to say. It's bad.
I think we could just wrap this up right there. It's always a pleasure talking with you, buddy. Catch us more. Subscribe to the YouTube. And if there is a sponsor out there that wants to be a sponsor of this show, send us an email.
We'll take your bucks. Thank you. No, it's on good fun. We'll do the work.
All right.
Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the show. What a wonderful delight. Potsi and T-Rods better chop up on the mic. Just sit back, have a laugh, catch a vibe, and enjoy the ride.